Shoulders guns!
Well, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was a production which our producing partner George Uckham and I discovered when it had its Broadway debut in 2005, which saw 627 performances of the production. 750,000 people saw that on Broadway, after which it toured nationally in the United States. It saw international productions. It's played many international shows all over the world. And we're extremely excited to be bringing this production to Australia.
Well, we really got the dream cast. We went out and targeted a couple of people for the main roles, and right from the beginning we thought it'd be fantastic to get Tony Sheldon to play Lawrence, although he's been living in New York since his triumph with Priscilla, and we weren't sure he'd be willing to come back. It turns out to be the role he's always wanted to play, so he's leapt at the chance, and we're very lucky to have him.
And I play Lawrence Jameson, the part played by Michael Caine in the film. Lawrence is a very urbane, charming, witty, but very vain swindler who's living in luxury in the south of France in a beautiful chateau, because for the past 14 years he's been making a very good living conning rich, gullible women out of all their jewels and cash, until he reads news reports of somebody called the Jackal, another con artist who is encroaching on his territory. So his first instinct when he meets Freddie Benson, a rather vulgar and crass American boy, is to get rid of him, run him out of town. But then the Professor Higgins in him comes out, and he decides to work with Freddie to double their takings, to work as a team.
And we've got Matt Hetherington, who was born to play Freddie.
The character of Freddie, the Steve Martin character from the movie, basically rolls around the French Riviera, just swindle people for small amounts of money to live, as far as he's concerned, like a king. But then he meets Lawrence and he realises that there are bigger fish to fry.
And they're particularly interested in conning this young woman called Christine, who seems to be an heiress from America out of her money. Amy La Palmer is playing Christine. Amy was the star of Rock of Ages recently in Melbourne. A sensational singer and a real find, a star of the future, unquestionably.
I'm playing Christine Colgate. She's a young American woman, very excited to be on the south of France, and she's quite taken when she meets Freddie.
And we've got Anne Wood, wonderful music theatre person who's playing one of the rich widows that Lawrence befriends. Katerina Retalek, who's just been in Addams Family, very, very funny performer. And we've got John Wood.
The character I play in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels' name is Andre. He's French. I don't know how genuinely French, maybe he's cod French, but he's also the police chief and possibly the dirtiest rotten scoundrel of them all.
So many musicals are taken from movies, and some fall short. Some are kind of faithful reproductions of movies, and occasionally get one that I think lifts it to a different level, and I think this one does.
It taps into the movie really respectfully and accurately. People that love the movie will get everything that they expect and more.
You've got the bonus of singing and dancing. I mean, that only just adds excellent elements. So, I think it's better than the film.
The songs are catchy, but they're very cleverly written as well. David Yazbek, that wrote the music, he's a jazz musician, he's a brilliant musician.
Lyrics of the songs are particularly witty, and there are a couple that are just real showstoppers in terms of their comedy value. And Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is one of the funniest shows I know. It's hilarious.
The show is so funny, so dynamic, and it really does play with all the kind of different great comedic themes of class and crazy accents and a slapstick.
I've always loved doing comedy because when I was young, my father used to watch Laurel and Hardy. And he used to just about spit out his false teeth laughing at Laurel and Hardy, and I always thought that's what I want to do. I want to make my father laugh like that.
There is no down part, there's no sort of mellow, boring bit in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. From the moment it starts until the curtain goes down at the end, it goes at 100 miles an hour. There's always fun, exciting things to happen. And that doesn't always happen in musicals. Sometimes there's a bit of a lull. That song is a bit this way or that scene was a bit boring, but every moment of this show has something really exciting about it.
There's been so many shows which have come back which are remakes. There's so many shows which have come back which have been here before. This is something fresh, it was something brand new, which Australia hadn't seen, Australian audiences hadn't seen.
The people come in and they can have an expectation of wanting to have a good time in the theatre, but by the end of the night, they've they've changed, you know, they've been laughing, the tears rolling down their face and remembering how much they love the movie. And so that's what I love about being an actor, to be able to have that sort of impact on an audience. And I've never found a show that does it quite like this, that people leave in large numbers feeling really fabulous.